Started now, so I have time to finish. Welcome to worksheet 28. Not sure if anyone's in the chat, but if you are, let me know so I can see if we're going to have some audience participation or not. We're looking at perfect passive verbs this week. So if you are looking for perfect active verbs, okay, just go back a few videos. That's everything to do with the third principal part. This week we're focusing in on perfect passive. So first thing we talked about is how that fourth principal part is actually an adjective. So you have an us, a, or situation. So if the subject of your sentence is masculine, you're going to use us. If it's feminine, you're going to use a. If it's neuter, you're going to use And you can also make it plural, right? So me sus, masculine singular, me si, masculine plural, me sa, feminine singular, me si, feminine plural, me sum, neuter singular, me sa, neuter plural. So it's first and second declension. Once you've cleared that hurdle, smooth sailing, because you essentially just take that form and pair it with sum. So, if you wanted to say something like positus sum, I have been placed. Positus est, you have been placed. Positus est, he has been placed. So you're going to have these two-word verb forms. So if you look down here, this is all conjugated out. So on the example here, I just left it kind of generic. Me sus, me sa, me sum, depending on the gender. Okay, and then we're just pairing it with sum, s, est. Once you get down to the plurals, however, make sure that you use the plural ending. So me si sumus, me si estis, me si sunt. Translations are just like perfect active. You just have to add the word been into the situation. So perfect would be like I have been sent. Pluperfect, I had been sent. Future perfect, I will have been sent. Okay. So we're going to jump right in. This is really not a lengthy worksheet, so I just want to make sure everybody has a good handle on how to conjugate these. I didn't give you guys a gender to use, so feel free to mix it up. I'm going to do the first one masculine. I'll do the second one feminine. I'll do the third one neuter, just to see them all. Right. So the verb here, video, videre, vidivissus, to see. So everything perfect passive. We're going to that fourth principal part. I'm going to keep it masculine, so visus, and I'm going to pair it with sum. Okay. Visus s and visus est. I think my formatting in these boxes is a little bit off, but see if we can fix it. Let's go. Can I fit 18? Yeah, there we go. So visus sum, visus est, visus est, and then when it becomes plural, we change it to we see sumus, we see estis, and we see sunt. And again, I just decided to do the first one masculine. I didn't give you any instructions, so no right or wrong way to do it for these. Pluperfect, visus, and now we're going to pair it with eram to show that it's past perfect, pluperfect. Visus eras and visus erats. Again, once you go to the plural, we see eramus, we see eratus, and we see erant. So this would be like saying, I have been seen. This is, I had been seen. And just make sure Twitch stream's looking okay. Boy, the internet is just having some issues these days. Looks good. Sweet. And future perfect. Visus ero. Visus eris. Visus erit. So those are my singular forms. And then again, when it's plural, we see erimus, we see eritus, and we see erunt. So it's just our forms of sum paired up with that fourth principal part. Nothing groundbreaking here. So for pono, let's do feminine for this one. Okay. So posita for the feminine, sum, posita s, posita est. Go a little bit bigger on these. There we go. And then when it becomes plural, right, posita, feminine singular, positai, feminine plural. Positai sumus, positai estis, and positai sumus estis sunt. Posita, 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 positai, positai, positai. Sum est est, sumus estis sunt. I have been placed, you have been placed, she or something feminine has been placed, we have been placed, y'all have been placed, they've been placed. Man, the formatting. Come on. Posita eram for pluperfect. Posita eras. Posita erat. And then again, because it's plural, positai eramus. Positai eratis. Positai erant. I had been placed, you had been placed, she or it had been placed, we had been placed, y'all had been placed, they had been placed. And future perfect, posita ero, posita eris, posita erit. So those are my singulars. And then for my plurals, positai erimus, positai eritis, and positai erunt. Eroris erit, erimus eritus erunt. Not sure who's in the chat, but if you have questions, let me know. That was more than I was expecting. Okay. Last one is oinko, to defeat, to conquer. So we're going to do this one neuter, just to practice. So we've got victum this time. Victum. Oh, and it's going to autocorrect me every time, isn't it? That's going to be a real bummer. Victum sum victum. Oh, my goodness. Stop automatically correcting. There we go. Victum s. Victum est. And the plural for neuters is going to be victa sumus, victa estis, and victa sunt. Again, same form for the participle, victum, except now we're going to pair it with eram, victum eras, victum erat. Once it becomes plural, victa eramus, victa eratis, and victa erans. And for future perfect, victum ero, victum eris, victum erit, and victa erimus, victa eritis, and victa erunts. Okay, I shall continue. One last little chunk here, these adjectives, particularly third declension adjectives. Okay, my rule is always the same when you are doing nouns and adjectives. Noun is always easier because the noun is just going to do what the noun's going to do. So we have liber, libri, second declension, easy money, libro, 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 libri, librorum, libris, libros, and libris. Now, when we're looking at the adjective, we have to think to ourselves, what do these forms represent, right? When they're written like this, I have two forms. One of them's got an is, so this is a third declension adjective. And since there are only two forms, we have the masculine and feminine, that's utilis, and we have neuter, which is utile. Since we're dealing with a masculine noun, we're going to start with utilis, right? That's the masculine form. The genitive is always whichever form has an is. So it happens to be utilis. So the nominative and the genitive look the same. That will happen. Dative is utili. Accusative is utilem, because it's masculine. And the ablative singular is one of those watch out for kind of forms. It is utili. So it's one of those forms that has an extra I from what we would normally expect for third declension. And our plurals, utiles, utilium, that's another one of our I stem forms, utilibus, utiles, and utilibus. So when you're dealing with third declension adjectives, right, a couple things to remember. How do these forms work, right? There are two of them. First one's masculine, feminine. Second one's neuter. If there are three of them, then you definitely got masculine, feminine, neuter. And if there's only one, right, one termination, works for all genders, right? Ferox, audox, ingains, and the genitive will be written next to it. And then, of course, you have to remember these extra I's, right? Ablative singular, genitive plural, those are always there. And then if you're dealing with a neuter word, you're going to have IA for your nominative and accusative plural. And that's about all the time we have. I have another class in a couple minutes. Got to cut down these videos. So I'll be in office hours tomorrow. I'll be recording the other video tomorrow as well. So please reach out if you need anything. All right, guys. See you tomorrow.